Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I know so many of you over on TikTok have been blowing up the comments asking for this, so today we're finally doing some customer reviews analysis for it. But before we dive into that, be sure to check out this exclusive discount available for it. You'll find it in the description and in the first comment under this video. Now let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details. So this monitor has been living on my desk for a couple of months now, and I'll be honest, it hit a lot of the right notes for me. I was chasing a line between everyday work, some light gaming, good color, solid brightness, and a USB Type-C setup that could keep my MacBook Pro and iPad Pro charged without turning my desk into a tangle of dongles. The contenders were another well-regarded 27-inch option and a couple of peers, but this LG caught my eye because it was available right away and priced around $400. I pulled the trigger and I'm glad I did. The big thing for me is the charging. The monitor can deliver 60 watts through the USB Type-C connection, which is enough to keep charging my MVP while I'm using it, and even streaming with a pass-through to my iPad Pro. It isn't the fastest charge you'd get with a higher wattage, but in practice I'm into a net positive charge while I work and game, which was a huge relief. No cliff dives in battery level, which is exactly what I needed for long work sessions. Then there's the resolution. I went for a 4000 by 2000 pixel feel, because I want text to be crisp and readable much the way my MacBook Pro's Retina screen is. In daily use, the text looks sharp, and at the scaled settings I use in macOS, it's easy on the eyes. I'm not cranking up streaming in 4 kilobytes or pushing a gaming rig to the limit. 1080p at 60 frames per second looks perfectly fine to me, and this monitor handles that with ease. Blacks and overall contrast are solid. I didn't buy into the idea that a mid-range IPS needs to deliver inky blacks. The HDR promise here isn't worth chasing. The display stays even with no noticeable backlight hotspots, and I'd say the color out of the box is pretty solid. It leans a touch warmer than my MVP, which I personally like for long editing sessions. If you do color critical work, you can tweak things a bit, though I didn't feel the need. For gaming, it's perfectly adequate for casual play. It's an IPS panel, so you won't get the high refresh numbers you'd see on a fast TN or high-end gaming panel, but for games like Hades or Kerbal, I didn't notice tearing or major motion issues. It's more than enough for the type of gaming I do. The ergonomics are a mixed bag. The single center bottom control button on the screen isn't ideal. The navigation is functional, but could be bigger and easier to reach. The stand is broad and maybe a little too bulky for my taste, though it's stable. If you're aiming for a cleaner setup, you can mount it on a desk arm with the VSA compatibility, which cleans things up nicely. Connectivity is workable. The back panel layout is a bit of a reach, and some people dislike that the USB Type-C is tied to the other ports. Still, having the main USB Type-C port plus HDMI and other connections is convenient, and cable management ends up looking tidy. In short, this monitor is an excellent value. If you're weighing it against pricier options, you're likely to come away impressed by the overall package. Strong text clarity, good color, reliable performance for light gaming, and practical charging for a modern laptop setup. HDR isn't a selling point here, but the picture quality and convenient charging make this a smart, balanced choice.
If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Got thoughts or questions? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.